How far would you go to make your fortune? Hire a child? Harm a child? Kill a child? These are the questions the world's most famous tech giants will be answering in court as part of a landmark legal case. That's after a human rights organization alleged they're complicit in the injury and deaths of hundreds, if not thousands, of children in the Democratic Republic of Congo, all to feed the world's insatiable appetite for the very latest gadgets.
Defendants Apple, Google, Dell, Microsoft, Tesla are knowingly benefiting from and aiding and abetting the cruel and brutal use of young children in Democratic Republic of Congo to mine cobalt. The young children are not merely being forced to work full-time, extremely dangerous mining jobs at the expense of their educations and futures. They're being regularly maimed and killed by tunnel collapses and other known hazards common to cobalt mining in the DRC.
The case has been brought forward on behalf of 14 Congolese families, 6 of whom have lost children working in mines. The document makes for harrowing reading, with stories of broken spines, paralysis, and people buried alive in collapsed tunnels. Children as young as 6 forced to work up to 24-hour shifts, using tools the human rights group brands as from the Stone Age. Many of these children were also trafficked. And while the latest iPhone retails at around $1,000, these children were being paid as little as $2 for their troubles, if they survived the working day, that is. What could be worth these lives, though? Cobalt, apparently, a metal that is essential to those lithium batteries found in every smartphone, every laptop, every electric car. And as the tech boom continues, demand has soared. The DRC is one of the poorest countries in the world, but also a mineral gold mine. It produces around 60% of the world's cobalt supply, mining a third of it by hand. Now, some of those giant corporations which signed contract with these mining companies say they had no idea what was going on. Those people in Silicon Valley can't be big readers then, because this has been news before.
Further, the horrors of the plight of these children has been widely reported in the media. Defendants all have knowledge of the forced labor, dangerous conditions, and extremely low pay provided to child cobalt miners.
Then you have reports like the one by Amnesty International back in 2016, which documented how child cobalt miners were overexposed to hazardous chemicals while working with no protective gear and basic hand tools. Apple's promise a year later to not use mines that didn't provide professional equipment must have got lost in translation. Even worse than just standing idly by, though, pretending you're the good guy.
Indeed, taking a major page from the corporate cover-up guide, defendants Apple, Alphabet, Dell, and Microsoft have joined and supported modal mining programs in DRC to create the false impression that they have acted to prevent the known horrors of cobalt mining in the DRC by children.
But when you're raking in hundreds of billions every year, what are a couple of lives over 9,000 miles away from you? Though, of course, they'll have you believe they really do care.
People should have values. Companies are nothing more than a collection of people. And so by extension, all companies should have values. You know, Apple has always been at the core about changing the world.